So I'm a big fan of ultra-wide monitors and also OLED displays. So for obvious reasons, the Samsung G9 Oled is my favorite monitor so far. Yes, this monitor was released a few months ago and the price was over $2,200. Now it has dropped to around $1,700, $1,800, but is it worth buying it? That's what we're going to find out in this video. So welcome to the channel, I'm Jolster and let's do this! Alright, so this is the 49-inch Samsung G9, also known as the G95SC. It has an 1800R curved display, which I love it because it's not that aggressive. If you're in between flat panels and curved displays, this is probably your best option. Right here we have a big ring that lights up, and I'll show you how it works or how it looks in just a little bit. At the bottom, we have the ports, but they're located in a different way. On the right, we have one HDMI 2.1 and a DisplayPort 1.4 with a micro HDMI 2.1 and a power port. Now on the left, we have two USB Type-C downstream and one USB Type-C upstream, and the power button, which can also be used to navigate the menus. I'm not a big fan on how these ports are located because they're not easy to reach when connecting the cables, but I guess they wanted to keep the monitor very slim looking, which by the way, it is very lightweight. I think the heaviest part is the stand, and putting it together, it's very easy. The stand just snaps into the back of the monitor, and the base has a couple of screws which can be tightened by hand. You can move the monitor up and down, and it also has tilt adjustment, and that's it. And there it is. I have a 60-inch by 30-inch desk, and this monitor fits perfectly. Now the power supply sits separately, so I had to install a basket on my desk so it won't be hanging around. And I also like that Samsung includes a remote control which has different buttons to Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, and Samsung TV Plus. So yes, this is not your regular monitor. Samsung implemented smart features just like their TVs. It has a Tizen operating system, so you have to set up everything using your phone or remote control. Now this is totally optional if you want to use these features. If not, you can just skip everything and just use it as a regular monitor. Now this is my favorite part, playing games, and they look amazing on this OLED monitor. Now keep in mind that this is a 5120 by 1440p monitor. It's like having two 27-inch 1440p monitors in one big display. The aspect ratio is 32:9, which is not very common in gaming. Not every game supports this aspect ratio, so you will have black bars on each side just in case if the game doesn't support it. But oh my god, this looks beautiful. I like how colors look very rich in all the displays, and this monitor doesn't disappoint. It is rated at 98% DCI-P3 color space, so HDR content looks beautiful. At a 2% window, this monitor can reach up to 1000 nits of peak brightness, which is very impressive. But at full screen, it can get a little over 250 nits, which is not bad. I mean, what matters the most is the highlights and the contrast and the rich colors, and this monitor does an excellent job. And for this level of performance, you also need a high-performance HDMI cable. I've been using Ruipro cables when testing TVs, monitors, and projectors, and I highly recommend this brand. And recently they released their thinnest high-performance HDMI 2.1 cable, which is more flexible and it's ultra certified for high-speed data transfer. So if you're looking for a reliable HDMI cable for your home theater or gaming setup, check out Ruipro cables. There's going to be a link in the description of the video. Now, since this is my main monitor right now, I've been using it to edit videos and reading emails and watching YouTube videos, and it works just fine, but you do have to get used to it. I mean, you can open multiple windows at once and it just makes things a lot easier, but such a big display, sometimes I lose the mouse pointer or you have to drag things from one side to the other, but at the end of the day, I really enjoyed this display. Now I do play a lot on consoles, so I connected the Xbox Series X and the PS5 to see how they work, and there are a couple options when connecting them. One is that you can use the multi-view feature and split the screen into two. Now here I have the PS5 on the right and my PC is being displayed on the left. This is actually very cool, but the resolution drops to 1080p and there is no HDR support on the PS5. Now honestly, it doesn't look that bad, but since I'm so used to 4K resolution and HDR, I'm able to tell the difference right away. Now the other option is using the whole display for the consoles. Now here I connected the Xbox and it looks all stretched out because consoles don't support ultra wide screens. Now you do need to go into the display settings and under picture change the aspect ratio to 16:9. This way the monitor will recognize the console and all the features will be working. You can now change the resolution to 4K 60 with HDR, VRR also work, and also auto low latency mode. Unfortunately, no 4K 120Hz, only 1440p 120Hz. But if you change to that format, then you won't have HDR because Xbox only supports HDR in 4K resolutions, so I prefer to have HDR when gaming on consoles. Now this is like having a 27-inch 4K monitor, and honestly, it looks great. You will have black bars on each side, but they don't bother me at all. And since this is OLED monitor, the pixels are off and there's no light bleed or blooming issues at all. As a matter of fact, I feel the picture looks even brighter in this mode, maybe because it's a smaller window. I don't know, but this is the best way to play on consoles. This monitor also has a 0.03 response time, so this is great for competitive gaming. The gameplay felt smooth and super fast. Samsung also included a game bar that you'll find on their TVs. Here you can change the picture modes. Some of them are really off, like colors look oversaturated, but you can also make your own personal presets. You can also see information like resolution, HDR, and VRR when they're active. Here you can see that everything works on the PS5. And even though the resolution is scaled down to 1440p, it looks very sharp and colorful. So yes, it is good for console gaming. But the best way to fully enjoy an ultra-wide monitor is using a PC, and the curved display makes everything even better. It is a more immersive experience playing on this massive screen. Especially racing games, you can see more details around the cars that makes you feel that you are in the race. Now, like I mentioned earlier, this monitor has smart features. You can watch Netflix or your favorite apps by simply using the remote control. Yes, you can do that from your computer too, but if I want just to relax or don't want to turn on my PC, I can do that. I can navigate everything with the included remote, and I think it's awesome. Plus the speakers sound great. I was very surprised because this monitor is so slim and yet the sound is impressive.
Oh yeah? What's the right one?
There is also Game Hub. You can connect a controller via Bluetooth, and if you have a Game Pass account, you can play dozens of games. There are many options to play games without a PC or gaming console. In this case, I prefer to play on my PC, but it is nice to have options. The ring in the back, you can turn it on from the menus. You have several options for the light effect, which looks really nice. I personally have it to sync to my display. I like it because it's not very aggressive, but you can still see it. Now, one of my biggest fears when using an OLED as a monitor is screen burn, and I know a lot of you guys have the same fear. For that, Samsung included features like pixel shifting, and it also lowers the brightness when you're not active on your PC. If for some reason you forget to turn it off, it will automatically turn off by itself or go into standby mode. Now, I haven't used it long enough to notice any screen burn or any permanent damage, but if I get to keep it, I will make a follow-up video and let you guys know how it's performing. Hopefully nothing happens, but we'll see. Now, I guess the biggest question is, should you buy it? Well, at $1,700 or what is almost $1,800 plus tax, I think it's too expensive. I mean, yes, it looks nice, beautiful, OLED display, ultra wide, awesome gaming features and sound and everything. It's nice, but it's a lot of money considering there are other options. So for example, if we go to Amazon, you can see this monitor, the one that I just made a video of, is $1,768. That's a lot of money, right? But then there's another option, which is very confusing because Samsung keeps calling these monitors pretty much the same name, the Odyssey OLED G9. So here's another OLED G9. The model number here is the G93SC. The one that I have is the G95SC. And the difference so far, what I've seen is that, for example, this cheaper option doesn't have any smart features, and I don't think it has speakers. I'm not 100% sure, but it doesn't have smart features. I don't think it has remote control, and it also doesn't have G-Sync support. This one has FreeSync Premium Pro, and also the stand looks a little bit different, but everything else, it looks almost the same. You know, it's an OLED monitor, 240 hertz of refresh rate, 0.03 milliseconds, dual quad HD display, HDR through black 400. And the price, it's another big difference. The price is $1,099, $1,100. So that is what, like more than $600 of a price difference. So yes, I think this is such a great price for the monitor. So if you don't mind not having those smart features and the remote control, this is probably going to be the best option for you. And then there's another option, which is once again more confusing because this is another G9, same size, 49-inch, but this one is 1000R. So the curve is way more aggressive. If you like curved displays, this is probably going to be the best option because this is going to be way more aggressive. But this one has HDR 1000, so this is probably not OLED. This is probably like either mini LED or just a VA with an LCD display. And the price, look at this price, it's $900, so it's even cheaper. Then you have the same monitor that I have here, the G95SC, but this one is refurbished. You can buy it refurbished for $1,100, which, I mean, you get everything right here. And if you don't like it, or if there's something wrong with it, you can always, send it back to Amazon, but you save a ton of money. So those are the options that we have and the prices. And if you get it for $1,100, I think that is the best option. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm Joelster, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Joelster out.